Most guys miss it when a woman's questions shift from casual to charged, and that happens far more often than men realize. She will not come right out and say she wants you because most attraction does not start with blunt statements. Instead, she asks certain questions that sound normal on the surface but are anything but innocent underneath. These are not simple get-to-know-you questions meant to pass time. They are designed to test boundaries, hint at attraction, and quietly see if you are emotionally aware enough to pick up the signal she is sending. If you start noticing these moments, you are not imagining things and you are not reading too much into it. She is genuinely interested in more than just conversation, and she wants to know if you are capable of meeting her energy. Here is exactly what to listen for if you want to understand her intent clearly and stop missing opportunities that are right in front of you. When a woman asks, "Are you seeing anyone right now?" it sounds simple enough, and most men answer without thinking twice. On the surface, it feels like basic curiosity about your relationship status. But there is a deeper reason she brings this up at that specific moment. She wants to know if there is an open lane for her to move closer to you, either physically or emotionally. Psychologists have found that direct questions about dating status are among the strongest predictors of genuine romantic or sexual interest, because people rarely ask this unless it personally matters to them. She is not just making small talk or filling silence. She is checking for competition and confirming whether you are emotionally available for something more. When this question appears naturally in conversation, it is rarely just friendly curiosity and often signals that attraction has already been established internally. If a woman suddenly asks, "What do you like in bed?" even if she laughs or frames it as a joke or playful teasing, she is clearly testing the waters. The surface meaning may sound light-hearted or humorous, but the subtext is far more charged and intentional. She is evaluating how comfortable you are talking about intimacy and whether your confidence remains steady when the topic turns sexual. She is also looking for clues about compatibility and alignment of desire. Research on flirting behavior shows that sexual innuendo is one of the most common escalation techniques when attraction is present. She wants to see if you retreat awkwardly or if you can stay grounded and respond with calm confidence. If you handle this moment well, you move beyond ordinary conversation and step into real sexual tension where mutual interest becomes unspoken but obvious. When she asks, "Have you ever had a one-night stand?" it is not random, and it is not meaningless curiosity about your past. On the surface, she may seem interested in your experiences, but the deeper meaning is that she is gauging your openness to spontaneous or low-pressure intimacy. Psychology research consistently links these probing questions to a woman's own openness to casual or unstructured encounters. She is subtly assessing whether you judge such situations or understand them without shame. This question allows her to imagine possibilities without directly exposing her own intent. If she is bold enough to ask something this personal, she is already thinking about what could happen and how safe it feels to explore that with you. When a woman leans in and asks what turns you on, it is never an accident, and it is rarely just curiosity. She may ask with a smile or weave it into playful banter, but she is deliberately inviting you to share desire and fantasy. Neuroscience research shows that conversations about attraction and desire increase oxytocin, which is the hormone responsible for trust, bonding, and emotional closeness. By asking this, she is turning up the emotional and sexual temperature while watching how you respond under pressure. She wants to know if you are confident enough to own your desires without being crude or insecure. When you play along naturally, she feels seen, understood, and emotionally safe, which causes sexual anticipation to rise. At this point, the interaction has moved far beyond friendly territory and into a new level of intimacy that changes the dynamic between you. If she asks, "Would you ever hook up with someone like me?" this is where things become more direct, even if she disguises it as a joke or hypothetical scenario. When a woman puts this idea into the conversation, she is not simply joking around. She is presenting a possibility and carefully watching your reaction for cues of interest or hesitation. Flotation studies show that women often use hypothetical questions as a low-risk way to test sexual interest while protecting themselves from rejection. Your response matters more than your words, because confidence signals openness while avoidance signals disinterest. If you dodge the question, she is likely to pull back emotionally. If you respond with calm assurance, she sees that you are open to the idea, and that confirmation is exactly what she is seeking in that moment. When a woman asks, "Do you like to take things slow or fast?" it may sound innocent, but it is actually loaded with meaning. She is not speaking about relationships in general terms. She is feeling out your intentions and assessing whether you are open to escalation without forcing it. Behavioral scientists explain that when a woman brings up pace, she is framing intimacy as something that could realistically happen sooner rather than later. It is her way of communicating openness while allowing you space to meet her energy. She wants to know if you are aligned or if your expectations are incompatible. This question often appears when attraction is already present and she is deciding whether to invest further. If you start noticing these signs, do not brush them off or rationalize them away. These are the exact ways women communicate real attraction, even when they are subtle, careful, or indirect. Attraction often reveals itself through questions long before it shows up through actions. Pay closer attention to how conversations shift, and you will begin to see how often this happens right in front of you without you realizing it. If you want the full list of the 13 things women do when they find you attractive, even if you do not notice, stick around, because Dr. Sophia is breaking down every single one so you never miss the signs again.